Good evening, I'm Taylor Thomas with a CTV News update. In the wake of the brutal attack of Tyre Nichols that was captured on video, Maryland Delegate Jazz Lewis is renewing his call for lawmakers to pass legislation aimed at expanding the use of police-worn body cameras. The Body-Worn Cameras Appropriation and Financing Act of 2023 will allow the state to negotiate the cost for acquisition of the cameras for all jurisdictions in Maryland.
Right now, each agency negotiates with the providers individually. This will allow the state to come in and create a master contract that each of the localities can leverage to bring down the in-unit cost for everyone. I think, it was so terrible to hear about the murder of Tyre Nichols. The only bright spot was the fact that because it was recorded, accountability will come. And in 2021, we did our police reform work group here in Maryland. This was the last piece that we need to do to scale that needed accountability tool.
A hearing before the House Judiciary Committee is scheduled for the 14th. State's Attorney Aisha Braveboy says carjackings are the fastest growing crime here in the county and the region. She says there were more than 500 carjackings last year in Prince George's. She also says organized crime groups are using juveniles to commit these crimes. That's why she says she's calling on state lawmakers to pass the Maryland RICO statute.
We believe that we need the tools in order to go after everyone involved in carjacking crimes, as well as other crimes that we see in our community. We want to go after those networks that are trafficking guns into our community and drugs like fentanyl in our community.
Braveboy says the measure is expected to be introduced in the House and Senate by early next week. Prince George's gets a $21 million federal grant for road safety improvements countywide. Sheriff Road from Eastern Avenue to Glen Willow Drive is one of 7 areas targeted for pedestrian and bike safety improvements. Officials say the grant is important because Prince George's has the state's highest number of fatal and serious injury crashes.
Some of the changes that we've made here will be improving pedestrian safety, lighting at bus stops. And then on some of the other roads in the program, there are more changes that are being made. Where they're wider, we're instituting road diets, and a road diet really is just slimming the road down so that helps to slow the speeds down. We're providing a refuge for people to cross, for pedestrians to cross. So we're making the crossing path shorter. And we're also improving the lighting as well as improving the markings on the road. We want to put in high visibility crosswalks.
Other areas include Meserot Road in Hyattsville, Riggs Road in Langley Park, and Marlboro Pike in Coral Hills. The Maryland Health Department reports 590 new COVID-19 cases today. The agency also reports that 502 Marylanders are currently hospitalized with the virus. Meantime, 12 residents have died from COVID in the last 24 hours. February is Black History Month, and the Congressional Black Caucus says it should be celebrated. But on Capitol Hill today, the caucus says that history is under attack across the country. They point to such efforts such as Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' move blocking the teaching of AP African American history courses. Maryland Congressman Kwasi Mfume says the U.S. was conceived on hypocrisy and white supremacy.
The enslavement of the Negro, the extermination of the Hispanic, and the wiping out of Native Americans made the birth of the American nation an iniquitous conception, conceived in hypocrisy and dedicated to the twisted proposition that white men were superior to non-white men and therefore entitled to enslave them, oppress them, and if necessary, destroy them.
And Mfume has introduced the National Council of African American History and Culture Act of 2023. The legislation would establish a 12-person National Council on African American History and Culture that could advise the National Endowment for the Humanities on how to best preserve Black history. Maryland Senator Ben Cardin has introduced a companion bill in the Senate. You're watching CTV News. I'm Taylor Thomas. Back in a moment.
Prince George's County has a rich history rooted in the diverse tapestry of the African American experience. From changemakers to business innovators and the unique distinction of being Maryland's largest, wealthiest Black county, Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation celebrates Black History Month.
Good evening and welcome back. One of the unions representing Metro's workers expresses safety concerns after yesterday's deadly shooting at the Potomac Avenue Metro station. The Amalgamated Transit Union Local 699 says that WMATA needs to immediately review its safety protocol and procedures. The incident happened just after 9:30 a.m. when 31-year-old Isaiah Trotman of Southeast D.C. injured 3 people and killed a Metro Transit employee. That employee has been identified as 64-year-old Robert Cunningham. Trotman was tackled and disarmed by passengers after he boarded a train.
The fact that our citizens have to intervene with armed gunmen is disturbing to me. We do the best we can each and every day. Our officers are there within minutes. We got this shooter into custody, and now we'll just let the investigation go forward.
Trotman faces charges of first-degree murder while armed, kidnapping, and assault with a dangerous weapon. Prince George's County has a rich history of being one of the top locations for successful Black-owned businesses, and this Black History Month, we want to highlight some of them. Meet one of the owners of Black Wax Bar in Bowie, Kayla McDowell. McDowell used to pass this shopping center on her walk home from middle school, dreaming of one day having her own salon. In June of 2021, she and her mother, Karen, went into business together and made that dream a reality.
All of our products are handmade by me and my mother. We make sugar scrubs, which are intended for use after you get services done here. They help with ingrowns, hyperpigmentation. We do facials, waxing your entire body, and we do sugaring as well. I really wanted something specific to Black women because I feel like we don't get that often.
If you want more information about the Black Wax Bar, you can check out the website right there on your screen. Another board member of Maryland's College 529 plan resigned. The Prepaid College Trust and Investment Plan announced that Jessica McLean resigned on January 22nd. McLean had served since July of 2020. Now, chairperson Peter Sergatis had resigned 2 days prior to McLean after testifying during a contentious House committee hearing. Maryland's 529 is an independent state agency that allows parents to invest money for their children's higher education. Since last spring, some parents have had their accounts frozen or their balance lower than expected. Prince George's County Council's new chair, Walla Blagay, is set to hold her first public safety forum for residents in District 6. She says it was prompted by a fatal gas station shooting on Walters Lane and years of violent crime in the area despite new development in the district.
Well, one, I want them to know what's being done. We do want to hear from the police department. We have heard from those in the police department that there's active work being done to help to curtail crime. There's concerns from residents about prosecutions. We want them to hear from the state's attorney about what's being done to prosecute crime. So it's really informing residents. But what we also want to know is when we want to hear from residents, what are the concerns that they're seeing? Sometimes we only focus on what comes on the news, but there's a lot of crime going on that isn't on the news. So we want people to understand that this takes a village. It won't be one, but it will be all of us to address crime together.
The forum is set for Friday from 10 a.m. to noon at Bishop McNamara High School. Officials from the County Police Department, State's Attorney's Office, and Office of Emergency Management will be in attendance. The Prince George's County Office of Human Rights is looking for young people to take part in their Youth Leadership Academy. The program for the summer of 2023 will focus on social justice.
So these are for youth leaders who want to know more about social justice and how they can engage with youth in their community. We're really looking at developing social justice leaders that are influencing people now, but also building the next generation of leaders for 10, 15, 20 years from now, planting those seeds today.
Participants will also be immersed in a 2-week program on human trafficking awareness, social justice, discrimination, and leadership. Now, to find out more details about the program and to apply online, go to civilrights.mypgc.us. And we'll be right back with more news. Stay with us.
You know that unwelcome guest everyone wishes would just leave already? That's COVID-19. That's why I got the new updated booster, designed to help protect against recent Omicron variants. Got it?
Welcome back. One person is dead following a single car crash in Bladensburg last night. Police say the crash happened in the 5400 block of Annapolis Road around 8 p.m. When first responders arrived, they found the victim dead inside the overturned vehicle. She's been identified as 22-year-old Michelle Hernandez of Bladensburg. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. 3 minors have been arrested and charged for allegedly stealing a Kia with a USB cord. Police say they arrested the teens in a stolen Kia Tuesday night in the 2800 block of Curtis Drive in Temple Hills. The teenagers, 2 14-year-olds and a 15-year-old, are from Bowie. There's been a trend of juveniles stealing Kia and Hyundai vehicles using USB cords. Police have made 8 juvenile car theft arrests in the last 30 days. All right, sports fans, it's an exciting time for Terps fans as the start of the women's lacrosse team season is right around the corner. The Lady Terps had an impressive season last year, going 19-2 overall and 6-0 in their conference. On top of having a great record last season, the team recruited well in the offseason. Head coach that is, Kathy Reese, says her freshman class is a strong one.
They're really talented, you know, and they come in, and what I'm happy about, too, is they get to learn from these upperclassmen, you know, who have kind of gone through a lot of challenges due to the pandemic and NCAA and extra year in our schedule and stuff, but these freshmen come in, and I've got, you know, some are really good defenders, some really good midfielders, and I'm excited that they have the chance to learn from the older players. And so I think as we go through the season, we're going to continue, you know, working hard, but learning and just trying to get better every day and seeing how we can kind of all integrate together to play a really selfless brand of lacrosse that's fast-moving and fast-paced.
The Lady Terps begin their season on February 11th at home versus St. Joseph University, moving on to high school basketball. Multiple teams will take the court tonight, including Potomac High School. The Potomac girls and boys teams will take on La Crosse High School. All right, that's it for our CTV News tonight. Join us tomorrow, same time, same place, right here. I'm Taylor Thomas. Good night.